Supermarket jams just don't hit the spot like homemade jams. That's why today we're going to cook jam like a chef. And this recipe, you can cook nearly any fruit and turn it into a delicious homemade jam. So let's jump straight in. Today's jam, we're going to do rhubarb and raspberry. Why? Because middle of June, is in season, it's at its peak condition, it's growing in the garden. I've got loads of raspberries, loads of rhubarb. It's about 39 degrees outside, hence the sweaty face. So let's jump straight in and make some delicious homemade jam like a chef. Now we're going to start off by cutting the leaves off the rhubarb. Why? Because they're poisonous and you can't eat rhubarb leaves, but you can eat the stem. And in just a second, I'm going to show you why this is the easiest recipe and we're not using scales. I'm going to cut my rhubarb into fine little dice. I'm not going to strain this jam. I want nice chunky bits in there and I don't want it to be too stringy. And for this recipe, like I said, we don't need scales. We're going to use one tub and use equal quantities of fruit and sugar. And now for a foolproof method, meaning you can use this recipe with any fruit, I'm using jamming sugar, which has got pectin in it already and available in the supermarket. And I'm filling the container the same level as the fruit, so equal quantities sugar to fruit. Now this is where most people go wrong. It's important to mix your sugar and your fruit together and then leave it for about half an hour to an hour. The sugar pulls out the juice from the fruit in a process called osmosis, and that juice becomes your fruit syrup. Skip this step and you're going to get sugar crystals in your jam, and I'll tell you why that's going to be a problem. But first, there's one last ingredient, and that's acid. In most jams you use citric acid. Like this, I'm using orange juice because the flavour of orange works great with raspberry and rhubarb, but you can use lemon juice, lime juice, even like champagne vinegar. Now here's the reason why we soften that fruit in the sugar first to get the juice out. If we had gone straight onto the heat, the crystals could burn on the bottom of the jam, or the jam could crystallise and make the jam cloudy. Now, you're going to see in some videos where they say use the cold plate test. Just like Joshua Wiseman in his video, he says do the cold plate test where you put the jam onto a cold plate, into the fridge or freezer, and see if it sets. By that time, your jam's still ticking away, and it's not 1859, it's 2026, and in 2026, this is one of the best things you can have in your kitchen at home to cook like a chef. It's good to see if your steak's cooked, if your chicken's ready to eat and safe to eat at 75 degrees, but in this case, it's good for jam. We want to take the jam to 105 centigrade. 105, once it reaches 105, you know your jam is going to set. And if you're a first-time jam maker, then pectin in your sugar is going to make sure that your jam sets every time. Otherwise, you're going to have to research which fruits have pectin and which fruits don't. Okay, now your sugar has dissolved, it's started to simmer. Now it's time to jazz that heat right up. We're just going to a medium to high heat just to get a nice rolling boil, but we don't want it to evaporate too much. And we're going to cook it to 105°C using this food probe to make sure we get the exact temperature and the exact same result every time. Now, as that jam is boiling away vigorously, it's going to take about 8 to 10 minutes to get to temperature. We're going to check it every couple of minutes with a food probe to make sure we get to the right temperature, 105°C, for setting temperature. Now, raspberry, rhubarb, and orange are one of my favourite free combinations when it comes to jam. It works beautifully, and the acid in the orange juice helps bring out the natural pectin in the raspberries, which is going to help it set. The same as when you watch my blackberry jam video, lemon juice in there is going to help bring out that natural pectin. So you want a little bit of acid in every jam. It's going to change the flavour, but it's going to help it set. It's going to offset that sweetness. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you my favourite jam recipes in a playlist that I've put together. Plus, I'll share a few combinations of flavours that work really well when you're in your home kitchen. Now, the jam is nearly there. We're about 2 minutes away and the kitchen smells super jammy. We're about to add one more ingredient to level it up to make it even more chefy and even more delicious. Two of the big mistakes with jam are temperature. If it's under temperature, your jam's going to be runny. If it's over temperature, then it's going to be really sticky and really stiff in the jar. Okay, nearly there. 105. Perfect. And now that's safely off the heat, I'm going to add some vanilla paste. And this paste is loaded with vanilla seeds and it's going to work really well with the raspberry and the rhubarb. The flavour works with it and not against it. And now we're going to jar that up after a good mix. Be careful, remember it's super hot, it's hotter than boiling point and sugar sticks to your skin, so be really careful. You can get jam in funnels if that helps. To sterilise your jar, simply boil the kettle, rinse it out of some boiling water and you're good to go. And here is the result in probably less than 15 minutes, a clear, shiny raspberry and rhubarb jam. This does not compare to a shop-bought jam. It smells and looks delicious. Now I'm going to let it cool at room temperature, then the lid's going on, and then it's going in the fridge overnight. And there we have rhubarb and raspberry jam. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, super easy. Any fruit going off in your house, don't waste it. Equal quantities of jam, sugar, a little bit of acid, and you're good to go for a perfect homemade jam. I use pectin sugar, and that is your safety net for beginners who are making jam. Some fruits don't have too much pectin in, so if you use pectin sugar, you're guaranteed to get a set on your jam next day when you get your toast in the toaster. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please check out this playlist next. This is my jam playlist, loads of great combinations of flavours in there. And when it comes to jam, you can experiment with flavours. Apple and ginger, classic combinations, pina colada, pineapple and mango. I'll leave you a little list down in the comments of combinations that work really well together. Check out the playlist. We did barbecue smoked strawberry jam, which was absolutely incredible. We finished that at butter. Go and check that out. And if I don't see you in one of those videos, then I'll see you in the next episode of I'm a Chef and This is How I Make. Stay tasty. Happy cooking, and I'll see you next time.